Alright, I'm going to be telling you the teams who are going to be making the playoffs in the NFL, starting with the AFC. Comment down below. Who do you think is going to the playoffs? You don't have to do all. You can just say one team. But let's get started. So, first off, I think the Patriots are getting first because they're already 11-2. They're in playoff position. And I think they could have a huge win over the Bills. And I think they're in pretty good playoff position. So
on to the AFC North.
So they're in first. AFC North. We have the Ravens getting first. That sounds pretty weird, but the Ravens and Steelers, I think they're going to tie records, but Ravens are going to end up getting first. So, but they're pretty bad. Putting them in first.
For the AFC South.
This sounds pretty weird, even though the Texans are up, but the Jags are getting first in their division. And I know the Texans are really good. They're 8-5. They just beat the Chiefs. They beat the Colts. So I think the Jags are still going to win. They just beat the Colts, and they're first in their division. But the Texans are right behind them. But I still think Jacksonville's going to get the first again.
And on to the AFC West.
The final, and the Broncos are going to get first. Yep, not the Chiefs this year. So the Broncos are going to get first. They're 10-2. And the Chargers, they're pretty good. The Chiefs, definitely not. And the Raiders, definitely not. So this is like my only option. But the Chargers did beat the Eagles. That left me to a 5-9 record.
Now we're going to do the wild card teams, or we're going to go to the NFC division winners.
We're going to be doing the extra teams.
The wild cards. The top three. Let's do it.
So I'm thinking the Chargers are also going to be making it.
Okay.
So the Chargers, they've also been doing a lot of really cool stuff. They have been great. They beat the Eagles, beat the Raiders, and I think they could probably beat a whole bunch of other teams.
On to the second wild card team.
The Houston Texans. They have also been doing good. I said they also beat the Chiefs and Colts. But the Texans are going to stay in the wild card matchup. I say they can go to the playoffs.
And the last team, the AFC's last team for the playoffs will be
The Buffalo Bills.
What a good choice in roster we have.
So the Bills have done really good. I know they lost to the Texans, but that doesn't matter. The Bills are still doing great. They're just right behind the 11-2 Patriots. So I think they're in playoff position. And yeah, the Colts, as you see, they're getting third in their division. Why? Well, they've only won one game and have 4 losses. I think they've had 5 losses. They've been 1-5 so far. And that makes them 8-6, which is really bad. I thought they were going to make the playoffs, but they're getting third.
Great picks, Roman. Let's go to the NFC division winners.
This is going to be good. So first off, we're going to go pick the Eagles to get first. The Eagles lost to the Cowboys, Bears, and Chargers. But they're still getting first. And even though they don't seem that good, they could probably win 12 games or so. Maybe 11. But the Eagles, Well, they just maybe are too easy to beat, or they're too hard to beat.
On to the NFC North, the North Division.
This was a tough one, but I finally decided the Packers to beat the Bears. The Packers also beat the Bears, beat the Lions, but they did lose to the Eagles by 3, which it's pretty hard to win to the Eagles. Just like almost a lot of people and teams lose to the Eagles. But the Packers are one of these teams who beat the Lions, who are going to be 3rd, surprisingly. But they might actually not be 3rd. These are my predictions.
On to the NFC South.
All right. We have the Bucks getting in first. The Panthers are catching up. The Bucks, they lost to the Saints, who are going to get 4th in their division. The Panthers also lost to the Saints. The Saints have beat a lot of people and teams in their division, but they just have to lose to all these teams who are not in their division, like the Patriots, the Colts, the Titans, the 49ers, whoever they play.
On to the last division winner, the NFC West.
The Rams, the Seahawks, I always thought they were going to get first until the Rams came up and probably took their place to make them. Say it. You don't need to say it. You already know what it is, but the Rams are just too good to beat.
Now to the wild card teams of the NFC. Who do we got?
All right. So first off, I'm picking the Cowboys.
Oh, bold choice.
So the Cowboys might not make the playoffs. I don't even think they might make the playoffs. They're 6-1, I think. All right, is that the record? I think it is. But after a loss to the Lions 44-30, I don't really know if they're going to make it. But I've decided that they're going to make it, but they might not beat any team in the wild card. Whoever it is, Texans, Ravens, Broncos.
Well, they won't play those teams because they're in the AFC, then.
Yeah.
We're looking at the AFC.
Well, yeah. But it could be the Packers or the Rams who they play.
Or maybe the Bucks. So let's go to the second team. Who's your second choice?
The second team, it's going to be the 49ers.
Okay.
And these teams might be a little weird who might make the playoffs, and they might be like an average team. So the 49ers, they've been good. They went to the Rams once, which is surprising. But the 49ers, I mean, they're good. You can tell that. The record is good. They have good players. They have a good quarterback. So I'm picking the 49ers to go.
And the third wildcard team.
But this is going to be a lot of explaining, but I kind of think the Panthers are going to go to
not the
playoffs.
Seahawks or Bears. Okay.
The Panthers are pretty good. They're 7-6. They beat the Rams by 3, like the 49ers, but they lost to the 49ers. The Panthers have won 7 games. It was like last year they won 2 or 1. The Panthers were horrible, and I think they're going to make the playoffs. Even though they're horrible. But the Panthers, they've won to a lot of good teams. Like this. Dolphins, Cowboys, Rams. And yeah, I said the Cowboys and the Rams. They just couldn't win to the 49ers, which is really, really sad. But out of all of these teams over here, you can see, like the Giants or the Lions, Bears, Saints, Falcons, Commanders, and Vikings, for sure, it couldn't be the Cardinals, Falcons, Vikings, or Saints, or the Commanders, or the Giants. It had to be one of these teams. But instead, I picked the Carolina Panthers.
Bold choice, remember. So there we have it. The playoff teams. And then these are our predictions for a month ahead of schedule. And then when the playoffs come around, we'll give you who we think will win the playoffs when the playoffs are decided. Excellent job.
And when the playoffs are decided, we'll make the wild card, the divisional, and the AFC and the NFC championship. And finally, the Super Bowl. Who will win the Super Bowl for this year?
Well,
That's going to be it.